Hello, everybody! Now we know all about the table manners of our own cultures, but what about the table manners of other cultures, huh? Well, now is your chance to know all about it in our project Table Manners. Let's go, guys. If you meet a Muslim, begin with Assalamu alaikum. The appropriate reply to that is Walaikum Assalam. It is imperative that a man wait to see if a woman stretches her hand out before initiating a handshake. Host leads the guests to their designated seats. Greetings and niceties are crucial at the beginning of a social gathering. If invited to their house, the host will normally bring the food. Unless there is an elder present, the guest will always be served first. Once the food has arrived, your guests may direct you to certain dishes they feel you should eat. Accept all of your host's suggestions because turning down food may be considered rude, but in reasonable amounts because there will be second servings offered. In most cases, Bangladeshis prefer to eat with their hands unless in more formal settings. Why aren't you eating?
We don't like to eat with our hands.
Don't worry, I'll give you knives and forks. If you cannot follow suit and if it's shocking to you, no worries, just be polite and ask for eating utensils. The host will gladly oblige. Whether you eat with your hand, spoon or fork, always make sure to only consume food with your right hand. You can only drink fluids with the left. It is considered extremely rude to waste food because the people who cooked it spent a great deal of effort into preparing them just for your sake. Hence, show restraint. Take only what you can completely eat. Similarly, it is a great idea to compliment the cooking. After the meal is done, wait until everybody else is done. Patience. The host rises first, the elders first, then you get up. Remember to say Khuda Hafiz or Allah Hafiz while leaving. The host usually leads you back to your mode of transportation or at least outside their abode. While eating sushi, it is wise to remember to never use a chopstick to separate the food into different portions. Such an act will be greatly frowned down upon in Japan. Instead, pick up the entire thing and swallow it whole. Furthermore, never apply wasabi directly on the rice and then dip it in the soy sauce. This may greatly affect the taste of the sushi. Instead, apply the wasabi to the seaweed roll. Don't use your chopstick to explore the contents of a dish. Look at the morsel you want with your eyes on top of the pile and not buried in the middle of it. Then directly go for it with your chopstick without touching any other piece. Toothpicks should not be used during the meal but rather at the end and always whilst covering the mouth. Now do not point with your chopsticks and definitely don't stick your chopsticks into your rice bowl in a manner that makes them resemble incense sticks set before a grave. Wait to be seated. Wait for the oldest person to sit down first before you take a seat at the table. The honored guest, usually the oldest person, takes the seat of honor farthest from the door. Before you begin, before you eat, especially at someone's home, it is polite to say that you're looking forward to the meal. In Korean, people say, "잘 먹었습니다." 잘 먹었어 what?
It means I will eat well.
Beginning a meal, wait for the oldest person to lift their spoon or chopsticks first before you start eating. Don't worry, it won't take long. Soup and rice bowls. During the meal, do not hold the bowl of soup or rice in your hand, as you might do in other Asian countries like China or Japan. In Korea, bowls are left on the table while eating. Don't take so much food that you can't finish, as that is considered wasteful. In Korean culture, it is respectful to clean your plate. It is customary to acknowledge your thanks after a meal. In Korean, people say, "맛있게 먹었어요." Oh wait, how do you pronounce that?
I ate well.